Would you like to learn how to manifest? Surely we can't just think of something and magically it's created. Well, today I'm going to share with you, as always through my own personal experience, how the idea of manifestation may not be as impossible as it sounds. Hello, my name is Mel from EnRichmbs, where you can follow my journey to enrich mind, body and spirit. And today I'm going to share with you how a series of experiences came together to completely change my view on the world, including my understanding of manifestation. So first, I will explain what led to this major shift in understanding. Then I will talk you through my tier model, which will include a brief exercise we can do together. Finally, we'll look at some of the ways manifestation can help you in your life. Now, some of you may have seen my previous video called How to See Auras, which included my APA technique, which helps you to feel relaxed and connected. You may wish to view this video as well, because all these subjects are connected. So the link to this video and all my other videos is below. But back to today. So how did this begin? Well, I've had a number of revelations over the years, and each one was significant in their own right. But in this particular instance, there were several experiences which all came together to form one eureka moment, if you like, which completely changed not only my understanding of manifestation, but of my view of the world and my place within it. I can give you 3 examples, 3 revelations. One relates to psychology, where I realised at a young age that we can have an experience in life which affects us deeply. And we may feel that we have worked through this event, perhaps because the event has ended. But sometime later, that experience or those same feelings might return to us to work through again. And this can happen again and again throughout our lives. The second revelation relates to science, where I learned about the law of conservation. Now, this states that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but transforms from one form of energy to another. For example, with a kettle, when electrical energy is transformed into heat or thermal energy to boil the water. Or with a light bulb, when electrical energy is transformed into heat and light. Another scientific example is in biology, where the energy stored in the food that we eat is transformed by the body into heat energy or chemical energy for the chemical reactions and processes our body needs to function. The third experience relates to spirituality, where I thought more deeply about the fact that energy cannot be created or destroyed, and wondered whether this gives credence to the idea of reincarnation, where perhaps that spark of life that remains in the body after the body has gone, maybe it returns to form another life. Could this actually be a scientific explanation for reincarnation? I don't know. So what does all this have to do with manifestation, you may ask? Well, you may have noticed one common theme running through all these experiences, and I'm going to say the word cycle. So whether this be psychologically, where we revisit experiences and feelings again and again, either in a challenging way where we feel stuck in a repetitive, destructive cycle, or in a positive way where we have opportunities to learn and evolve and grow. Or whether it be in science where energy cannot be created or destroyed, but is transformed into one form after the other again and again. Or spiritually, where the spark of life itself may be reborn into new life again and again as part of a cyclical process of collective consciousness evolution. Either way, all these examples are cyclical. I'd like to add here that these revelations all came from 3 different viewpoints: psychology, science, and spirituality, or mind, body, spirit. This was actually when I started to organise my thoughts differently. Whenever I had a new thought or concept, I would then step back and view it in turn in terms of mind, then body, then spirit, which I found led to a wider understanding and some progressive new ideas, which will actually form the content of my next big book. But more about that later. So you can see that these completely separate revelations all came together to form one big revelation, one word that changed my perspective on life, and the word was cycle. So what does cycle have to do with manifestation? Well, this brings me on to my tier model, and I'm going to use it to show you how and why we can all manifest. Now, we can all think of some cyclical processes, whether it be the moon travelling round planet Earth, the Earth travelling round the sun, our blood travelling round our body, or the cycle of life itself. And you're about to discover that my tier model is also a cyclical process. By the way, when looking at the subject of manifestation, we need firstly to tune in to how we think, how we feel, and how we're connected to the world around us. Okay. So TIR stands for thought, emotion, action, reaction. So if you follow along with me, we have a thought, it could be any thought, which provokes a feeling, an emotion. Now that feeling then causes us to act. This could be a physical action or a decision or intention, but either way there is a shift, a movement. Now that action gives rise to a reaction, a consequence or change of perspective. Now you may have guessed that I'm going to tell you that this TIR process is cyclical. So let's look at an example. You're about to walk through a doorway. When you notice there's a person behind you, we've all been there, you have a thought that the door might slam on them, and then you could feel either that you don't want that to happen or that you don't care, maybe you're in a hurry. Anyway, let's just say that you hold open the door for them, which is of course your action. Now this may lead to a reaction or consequence where either the person will say thank you or they may not and just stride past you. We've all been there too. But either way, this will provoke a reaction within you, which again will lead to another thought, and so on. So you can hear already that this is a cyclical process. So the more I thought about this process, the more I realised how it is such an important part of our everyday lives. And this can happen in either a positive or a negative way, such as the person saying thank you or not, and our reaction to this. But either way, the process is the same. So let's do an exercise together. And it involves thinking of a loved one. So first we have the thought, we think of the loved one. This leads to a feeling of love for that person. Now follows an action, which may be a physical reaction, for example, by picking up the phone to call them, or it could be an internal reaction, for example, to call them when you know they've finished work. This causes a reaction, perhaps how you feel after the phone call, for example, that you miss them, or confirmation of your love. This could then lead to another thought, perhaps a decision to keep in contact more regularly, and so on. Another example will be if a lady goes out walking in the sunshine, she's feeling good, she gives a smile to someone she passes in the street. Hopefully we've all been there. That person may respond by smiling back, which causes them to be more likely to smile at the next person they meet, and so on. Of course, the acquaintance may scowl back instead, which may cause a reaction within the lady whereby she doesn't smile at anyone else she encounters. So you get the message. So let's try this in real time. Next time you go out, perhaps when you pass somebody in the street, just give a touch of eye contact with a smile and see what happens. But regardless, just make a note of your reaction. See if you can identify the tear process in your daily life. This will help with your development of self-awareness. My point is that we are all going through this tear process all the time, for good or bad. This was one of my major personal realizations, which really changed the way I saw myself and my place within the world. We are all interconnected with each other and our environment. So, what does the tear process have to do with manifestation, I hear you ask? Well, hopefully you can see now that every step of the tear process can be viewed as a form of energy transformation. From a thought or electrical signal in the brain to an emotion or chemical reaction releasing hormones, leading to an action or mechanical or movement energy, and then a reaction, which causes another thought and then an emotion, and so on, as a continually evolving cyclical process. Not just with ourselves, but with others and the world around us. So surely manifestation is also a form of energy transformation. We have a thought, idea, wish or intention that we want to become real. We want our wishes to come true. So I could wish for a new car or to win the lottery, but that would require someone with greater gifts than I possess. Instead, I try to align my thoughts, my behaviour, my intention with the desired energetic consequence. So, for example, if I want to be respected, I try to be respectful of others. If I want to be loved, I try to be loving and lovable. It was Mahatma Gandhi who said, "Be the change you seek." And it is this simple concept which forms the basis of my whole new way of thinking, of being, this awareness of who we are and our place in the world and how we interact with everything around us. Be aware. Perhaps now we can see that we are all manifestors. But remember, this tear process, this energy transformation is non-judgmental we can have a positive or a detrimental effect on ourselves and the world around us. In other words, be positive, be creative, and careful what you wish for. Now, earlier I mentioned that I'm writing my new book. It will be a combination, like today, of psychology, science, philosophy, and spirituality, all based on my own personal experience again. And it will bring together all my thoughts, imaginings, visions, revelations since I was a child, to form my unique grand model of reality, consciousness, and our very existence. I don't know when it will be ready, but I've discovered the power of voice-to-text software. So I'm hoping that's going to help me speed up the process. So, if you would like me to expand more on anything mentioned in this video, please do leave a comment. All the links to all my videos are in the descriptions below. And if you liked this video, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm Mel Pross from EnRichmbs, sending love.